welcome to the Dirty Mocktail Hour podcast. I'm Ingrid.
I'm Yadira.
I'm Gina.
And today we have just a nice little pick-me-up since it's early
in the morning. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like a shaken espresso drink.
Really good.
Oh, I haven't had this in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, it's shaken. Oh, an espresso. Well, I do have lattes, so sometimes a latte
It has an espresso.
A lot.
They have that in there too. So yeah, we were thinking a little bit today. I don't know. The topic was going to be about was it boundaries or something?
Yes. Boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries. Okay.
So I guess when it comes to personal relationships and your romantic relationship, like having boundaries, when you're dealing with like issues and not telling other people like the full story kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Gina, so do you want to?
Okay. So, I mean, since I've been in a 8-year relationship, I have more experience in that sense. But I mean, not only in a relationship, I feel like even in a household, I feel like there has to be boundaries on what you would tell like your friends or family about your relationship. It's not necessarily like, the person trying to hide their relationship. It's just like you can't just go around telling your friends like, hey, me and my boyfriend got into a fight over this and this and that. Like I feel like I read details too much.
I see.
Because you don't get to like tell their side.
Like you're only saying your side, pretty much.
Like let's say your spouse or your partner is talking to their friends about like a fight they had with their partner, and they're just pretty much telling their side. Like they're not telling the other person's side, like their partner's side.
Right.
Like, for example, me, Danny, like if we were to get into a fight and I'm trying to communicate to you guys about our fight, the details, if I'm only telling you like, hey, this and that happened, you guys are only listening to what I telling you. You weren't there to pretty much see what went down.
Yeah, it's like one-sided what you're saying.
Yeah.
So it's not fair.
Yeah.
Very unbiased.
Yeah. Very biased.
Very biased.
Yeah.
Biased.
Interesting. I feel like coming from a short-term relationship experience.
Yes. Okay.
I definitely, because previously I feel like I agree to a certain extent until there's an actual, like, because I'm short-term girly over here, until there's a breakup, because I'm like, if it's a breakup, then it's like I reveal the full deets at this point, because there's like no coming back from, like, I give it a beat, and I'm sure like this is totally different from your experience, Gina, because this is a long-term relationship. But for me, at least, I try my hardest to make things work until it's completely like the relationship has fallen apart, where it's like,
I see. So you give it your all before
like
ending things,
before the conversation.
Try to see if you can fix it.
Exactly.
It's not fair. Yeah, it's not fair for the other person because we don't hear his side.
Right.
You get it? Like, we just hear what you're telling us, but when we see him, we're going to be like, oh, he did this and this and that.
Yeah,
we don't give him a chance. Yeah.
And it's more awkward, too, because it's like, then it feels like, because, and I guess this comes with all types of relationships, even friendships. It's like, at a certain point, like, sometimes you're just looking for advice from your friends.
Yeah.
And you're just like trying to figure out like what's the next, what do they think? So that's a tricky thing, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's tricky.
It's actually, I get what you're saying because you're trying to vent. But I feel like you could give details, just not
the full
everything. Like little things that shouldn't be said.
Yeah.
Just
maybe like things that are too personal.
Yeah. Like sex.
Yeah.
Do you have to sit there and tell your friends about how many times you sleep with the person you're with?
right.
We don't need to be talking about
I'm
that.
dead.
I feel like you shouldn't. That's not fair.
Yeah, that is a lot of information, especially.
Because you don't know who's going, like what the person is going.
That's true.
I was gonna make a exception, but it's not fair because I was gonna say when men talk about it to their male friends, that's wrong. But if female friends do it, it's okay. But it's also not okay.
It's not okay.
Interesting. I got into a conversation with my boyfriend recently.
Yeah.
Because I was like at work thing, and my coworker, my friend, she was showing me a picture of someone that she's seeing. His I don't know, like it was a video of him in his boxers, and he was like waving.
Wait, this is a real person?
Yes, a real person. So he was waving his dick back and forth, and she was showing us the video, and I was telling my boyfriend about it, and then he brought up a good point. He said, how come it's okay for women to show their friends, but when guys do it, it's wrong?
Right.
Which is fair. I was like, that does bring up a good point.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't think about it like that, but now I'm like, oh, I should be more cautious. But I don't go around showing people videos personal.
Yeah.
Like if it's a partner, maybe if it's just someone I'm dating, then yeah. But if it's a partner, then I wouldn't do it.
Like it's interesting because
it's making me think more now.
Yeah,
I should be more careful with what I share.
Yeah, because especially like you don't want it. I guess the whole thing is like, would you want it to be done to you? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
that's what it was.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, damn, I had an epiphany. Like,
oh no, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I gotta think about that more, like how the person would feel like you're sharing something intimate, even
mindful.
if it is even if it is like a group of girlfriends and stuff, they share stuff,
we do
I guess it's not excusing it, but the only difference is I think with women they're not gonna share it with 20 other people, just their close friends.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like
that's the difference.
Yeah, I feel like we do share stuff, but I don't feel
within the friend group.
But not only that, I don't think we share every detail about our relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like the things that are coming up.
Yeah.
If there's ever like any issues and you want to vent, then that's okay.
Yeah.
And then sometimes friends can give you advice. Yeah. And you can listen to it. But you don't have to take the advice either.
Yeah, I think it definitely is it is a double standard. Let me say that. It is a double standard
for sure.
And like whenever it comes to like, when you're talking to your partner, you just gotta be more mindful of how you come across, and like some things where it's like, I'm surprised like in 8 years though, Gina, like you're still having that conversation.
It sucks because I feel like I'm the type of person, I could be private. Like I know I talk to you guys about my relationship, but I make sure that if I'm going to give you details, it's vague. Not only that, I make sure I tell his side too, and not make him look bad, because it's like, I have to keep it real. You can't just, say, hey, we got into a fight, he did this, but I'm going to let you know what I did as well.
Right.
But that's if I was to get into details, because it's like, I don't want you guys to draw a conclusion just based on what I'm telling you, because it's not fair.
Yeah, that's true. That's
very fair. Unfortunately, some males versus females, I feel like there's more drama coming from the male side.
I agree.
Yes, I agree. More recently, I don't know if it's always been like this, but I feel like they're more dramatic.
Yes. What do they say? Like sassy man apocalypse is going on right now.
Oh, is there a sassy man apocalypse? I mean, I feel like, no, I agree.
They gossip a lot.
Just like us.
They do gossip.
They do. I would say if anything, men gossip more than women.
I think they like to hear the gossip too. Do. They act like they don't, but they're
always side-eyeing, listening to all the gossip.
Very dangerous. You have to keep your eye open.
But I feel like they are most prone to talk about sex life. I feel like I've never mentioned anything to you guys about my sex life.
Yeah.
No.
Like I do talk about like, hey, these different like, moves, like things that you can learn.
Very vague though.
Yeah. Not like, oh, guess what? I haven't had sex in a month.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how
like
many times. But I feel like men are more prone to doing that. But they don't really talk about why they're not having sex. Versus like just like what the woman is going through. Like we have a lot of issues we go through, hormones. Not only hormones, we go through stress. We go just like them, they go through stress and all that, but hormones play a big part.
They do play a big part, yes.
And I feel like we do tend to be more emotional, standoffish, especially during my period. I'm like that, like don't touch me. And I have issues with like my hormones, so it's like as a woman, we go through it, and they just don't seem, they just, hey, I haven't had sex, or hey, guess how many times I've had sex.
Oh my god.
And it's like, I feel like that's like
immature.
Yeah,
it's very immature, and it's very like,
honestly, to each his own, but I feel like I like my life to be a little bit more private, because you don't know me. People don't know what I go through. I don't know what you go through. I don't know what Ingrid, like we just talk about what we want to say, but we don't fully get into details.
Right.
So I feel like my life, if I want it to be a bit private, that should be respected.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. And also it's like with your partner in your relationship, it's your own, you know, your union, where it's like you have to be on the same page and be able to, you know, have that conversation and respect each other to have.
Like, I'm not dating his friends. I'm dating you. Like, if you guys want to talk about my sex life, why don't you join me and, you know, my boyfriend, if you know what I'm saying. Because, you know.
They want to get up all in there. And it's like, I'm surprised that people are, like, men in our 30s are still doing that. But then I'm also not surprised because I'm like, I don't know. Men are always doing something.
If anything,
crazy.
I guess it all comes down to boundaries.
Yeah.
Because for me, I don't really mind. I think as long as he doesn't show like videos or pictures, if he talks about it to his friends, that's one thing. Yeah. But once the pictures and videos, if they were to show that, then that's past my boundaries. I think
that's beyond.
Yeah, that's different.
That's different. But other than that, I don't really mind.
But I feel like you guys spoke about it and it's respected.
Yeah,
right?
so we're both on the same pages.
Yeah,
pretty much.
True.
But you know, I wouldn't fully disclose everything that he likes and all that. Like, you know, things that are too personal. I wouldn't get past that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, it's crazy to think like boundaries can be crossed at any point, though.
That is
true. And it's just like sometimes you don't find out until later on. Because I feel like in my situation, it's like having to date. I've gone through a lot of dating history. My dating history has been very perplexed, and like, yeah. I feel like definitely if a guy is crossing the boundary and sharing videos or like doing something behind your back, and like that's already crossing like distrust. You know, you're not building trust there. You also gotta. I think another thing is you gotta be careful who you share it with, for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's a big thing. You gotta really trust the person to share something at your most vulnerable.
Exactly. And not everyone. I mean, I also believe that hey, like just like you, dear, you mentioned about you having an epiphany, like. Everyone can, you know, and I'm just trying to be a little bit empathetic maybe, or like trying to see it as a humanity thing where it's like not everyone has their mental like understanding of respecting another person. Like sometimes we're just thinking about ourselves in the moment. Yeah. So I always give grace to people, like even though if they've done me wrong, I'm like, okay, like maybe they just need to still grow.
Right. It's not you, it's them.
And karma or life will teach them a lesson, and then they'll realize what they did was wrong. But that's very interesting with boundaries. And then I would say also boundaries with I guess the same thing with like we were talking about relationships or friendships too. Like if you have an issue with something and you need, you know, with a friend, it's like having to kind of find the line of like, you know, you're not trying to gossip. You're just trying to, if you're having an issue or something, trying to come. Like, I think what Gina was mentioning about like showing both sides is important. Like showing the side of like what I said, and it's not just me, versus like twisting it and making it all about it was their fault.
And you could definitely feel tension, like when you're around the group of people. You could feel it. They know something that I don't know. Like they already have an opinion of me, and I have a feeling that it could be this, and then that's when you start acting like different, and then they're like, why is she different? Why is this different? You know, why does she act this way? And then they base that sometimes off of like that interaction,
right, because it's also seems like the person's not defending you in that moment, and then they're building on that, like it's not fair. It's not fair, especially in a group setting.
They're probably not conscious about, like, they don't realize what they're doing is harming you.
Yeah. I don't think people are like, I honestly try to think like people aren't on purpose malicious or like doing things in a bad way. It's just, you know, I don't know. They could be focusing on themselves and like thinking like about their, how they come across and like wanting to be right or something like that. But yeah, that's a big deal too. It's like in a group setting and like how it's kind of like peer pressure in a weird way. Like, you know what I mean? Like if someone says something negative or like something like a strong opinion and then other people agree because they're afraid of like showing up.
Or it's what they know. Like what they hear from you. Like, oh, this is what I hear. So that's who she is. I don't know her, but you know, this is what this person said. So I'm assuming that's what she is.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a big part too. And then one of my questions is like, how much is too much information to share? Like, I don't know if we, how much is too much information? If you're venting, like,
I feel like you could just say what's like surface, like it can't get into details. Cause if you're sitting there saying, this is the problem, this and that, versus like, I had this issue.
Yeah.
I don't know how to go about it. This happened, but not get into details. Like, we just got into an argument, period.
Right.
I don't know how to handle it, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. But like, if you get into details, pretty much show up at their home, or like literally go running to them, telling them how you feel out of anger. Because most of the times when you're mad at your partner, you're going to be angry.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're going to say things you don't mean.
Yeah.
Right? So that's definitely going to build like a stronger opinion about that person.
That's true. That's
Very
true.
true.
So
It's
I just
like-
feel like,
Yeah. That's true. I mean, that's hard, man. Because, like, we are just emotional beings, honestly.
Yeah.
We're just
We
emotional
are.
humans. And we react. And we're like, you know what? Like, we need, especially if, like, you're always with your partner and you need space.
I get it.
But sometimes you're hanging out with the wrong people and then they kind of,
or you need to speak to someone that's not biased. That doesn't
like
know
a therapist
you
or
therapist.
a counsel, one of those, somebody like that. Like, yeah. Because when it's biased, it's
For sure.
They're gonna be mostly on your side.
yeah.
Whether it's their family or their friends. Like, if you're telling me my mom is not gonna have my back at the end of the day,
Right,
100%.
true.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing too about parents. Like,
Yes.
I do my. I've learned my lesson to tell my mom too much information because when I tell her stuff, she'll be like, and then I'm still seeing the person. She'll be like, and so I especially with parents. I mean, I would say definitely. I mean, friends too. Like
It's both.
It's both.
Both,
It's
yeah.
both because you're still they want to defend you and have your
For
back.
sure. It hurts them.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you get into a fight with your partner and especially if they witness it,
Oh yeah.
or if they hear about it, they're like, why are you still with that
Right.
person?
Right.
That question.
That's true.
They're not going
yes.
to sit there and be like, what did you do?
Right. That's
right.
true. Parents.
It's
would
what
not
they
do that.
did, not what did
Exactly.
you do.
Right. That's
Exactly.
true.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Because we always view our friends and we see like parents view us, they want to defend us
No
first.
matter what.
They know us first and
Yeah.
they don't know the other person.
And we also have to remember that your partner's friend is not your friend.
That is very,
Yeah.
very
Because
true.
once you end a relationship, they're not going to sit there and say, hey, how are you? No,
yeah,
it's their,
for sure.
they're back to being with their friend. You're
Yeah.
not the friend.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree as
That
well.
doesn't mean you don't have to be friendly. It's just like you got to remember, like, you have to understand they're not your friend.
Yeah.
Right. Very fair.
I agree.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always had that mentality as well. I'm like, I mean, don't be surprised, like, if our friends are not friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah,
I've had that's why I've never really gone out with anyone from school, or because I can just imagine like it would be just complicated.
High school drama. How
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah, even in college or whatever. And like, I'm like, I don't know. That
Yeah.
sounds complicated. And I guess there's another way. I mean, I kind of mentioned therapy, like couples therapy. Have you guys ever thought about
I have.
that?
It's healthy.
It's good to. I
feel
think
like, yeah.
it would be good, like when you've had a long relationship, like Gina has. It's
Yeah.
good to see someone just to catch up and
Yeah.
because 8 years is a long time.
That is a long. I thought it was 10 years, but it's 8.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're almost reaching the 10-year mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
The
feel like it's
anniversary
healthy.
just came.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
But it's
that's
always
fine.
it's always good to just get help from an outsider perspective where they're
Yeah.
unbiased, and therapy helps too.
Yeah, some people look at it as if like the relationship is in jeopardy, but it's not necessarily
No,
that.
I don't think
It's
so.
just
No.
like,
Yeah.
it's healthy.
It's like a nice refresher.
third party that's not
Mhm.
biased, like
Right.
just to speak to them,
Yeah.
talk about what you may need
It's a
help
healthy-
with
yeah, it's a healthy
communication
thing.
wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you
It's a
ever thought
healthy
about doing it?
Yeah, for
Yes?
sure.
Okay. Nice. That's
I
good.
wonder if, I guess,
Like, I
Just-
see a therapist, and it's not necessarily when I'm like going through something.
Yeah.
It's good to talk to
talk to
someone.
someone.
Yeah, it is good.
does do you know if health insurance covers that? It must, right?
Some of them,
Oh.
yeah.
Some of them do.
You could check. You
Yeah.
can check online or call.
Yeah, you have to check, but
Yeah.
when you're on the phone checking for hours, it's like, goddamn, you give
I
up.
know. It takes so long.
You're
Call
like,
on the site.
on
Your
the site.
health insurance.
On-
Just say
yeah.
like what doctors.
That's what I did too, but I was on the phone for hours. They
Oh,
were like,
yeah.
but it's like changing, right? With a lot of people don't really accept Medicaid anymore.
Oh yes,
Not
I
like health
know. My
essential
mom is
plan
like
thing.
dealing with that right now.
Yeah,
She's
and
trying to
I've
go to.
tried.
She's trying to find a dentist.
Well,
That's
don't
hard.
even get me started on dentists.
I know.
That's
It's
way
so
worse.
hard.
Yeah.
Because she's like has Medicaid, Medicare. Cause she's
Yeah, because she's
Yeah.
retired and
Okay,
senior.
yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh. Anyway, sorry. We all know how that is
Go to South
in America.
America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's
I
cheaper
told-
to go fly
That's
out
why I
there.
told her, and I don't know. I think she's just scared all the time. She's like so scared.
It is scary though, like trusting someone with your teeth.
Yeah,
But
because then
when-
if they mess up, you're gonna have to go back to them.
It's like a trip, you know. And people like dentists here, they don't want to touch you after you've been
I
like
know.
under.
Yeah.
At least you're not
Different care.
I feel like teeth are different than getting like a butt. You know, because if you're getting a fake butt, then that makes sense. But if you're just getting how are they gonna? Well, if you get dentures, that's what I'm saying. Like, because my mom needs some of those fake teeth,
Oh, okay, yeah.
so she's. But that's expensive here.
Yeah.
It's very expensive.
I know. So wait, I was saying something about couples therapy. Yeah.
It's funny how we switch from couples therapy to teeth and medicals.
How did that go? I don't know how
know.
we got there. Sorry. Yeah, couples therapy. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. I think. Do you think is it a red flag if you go into couples therapy 1 year into a relationship?
Not necessarily.
If you're both open to it,
Yeah.
then that's
It
okay.
Yeah.
could be a good experience.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't necessarily have to think of it like, oh, my relationship is in danger.
You're just
Yeah.
going to check up like a health mental check and all that.
Yeah.
Just to
It's
make
good,
sure.
especially if you're in a partnership with somebody else.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot. It's not a lot of work to be in a relationship, but sometimes like somebody could be going through something and you don't know how to help them out.
Yeah.
And that's a good way to
Rough
look at it.
patch, you know?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
someone could be going through something. You could let them know like, hey, it's gonna be okay, but you don't know how to help them out.
Yeah.
So when you go to a therapist, maybe they can give you some pointers on how to help your partner because you might have different love languages or
Yeah.
different ways of communicating.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if you do something for them, they might not receive it as a good thing too.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Yeah. And then what do you guys think? Is it ever okay to tell the whole business?
Maybe if the relationship is over and
Okay.
we'll never have to see them again, then why
Yeah,
not?
I mean, honestly, I still wouldn't do that to someone. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want that to be done to me, and that has happened to me. So
Yeah.
it's like, if you know how it feels, like you wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's the business. It was a relationship between you both.
Mm-hmm.
No one really needs to know unless you're being beaten. That's a different story.
Yeah.
But if it's like issues you guys had in the relationship, I feel like if you guys both have to work on it,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
outsiders should be involved.
Yeah. I can see that.
I mean, at least that's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's a good point. I guess it's like almost, if you think about building I'm just saying like, I'm thinking future wise, like if you were trying to build a family with this person or whatever, it's like almost like having kids and telling your kids business. Is that
That's
too much
something I went through. Like my mom used to always tell like our family about our
Right.
Oh my
business,
God.
Right.
and I had to like put a stop because it's like people thought the worst of us. Like
Right.
it actually ruined our family because they ended up like really thinking differently about us.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. You tell even your family, if you tell your business to your family, sometimes they don't understand.
Yeah.
They just see what they want to see.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you say like, hey, I'm going through depression, they'll be like, oh, this person's gonna go through a lot. They're doing this because of that. Like they're basing it on what they heard, so they're like, oh, she's acting out because she's going through depression, or she's acting out because of this.
yeah,
you know?
that's very, very
So it's
true.
like you have to sometimes build boundaries, even like in your own little family with your mom, your dad, your sister. I feel like whatever you talk about should stay in there, unless like you're going through something like you want to tell your family like, hey, I got accepted here. That's
Right.
different. But
Yeah.
like your whole business, like
That's true.
I don't think I ever told people my business.
It's so true. People are like, I'm starting to realize something about we're all
Latina
gossip.
moms are like that.
Yeah, no,
Like-
that's true. Oh yeah, okay. Because
They are. But you have to put a stop where you gotta tell them like, hey,
that's true.
you know.
No, I started realizing. Wow, I'm a little late now. Okay, well that makes sense, Gina.
Yeah, it does. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. What's funny?
I'm like, am I my mother?
But it's not. I mean, like,
No,
Why'd you
I'm
think
kidding.
that?
No, because I was thinking, I just thought about that question about if you have kids, right? And then I would remember like my mom talking on the phone and like, telling everyone's business. And then I realized, oh, I see why. I guess it feels good to talk about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then it doesn't feel good when you talk about someone else that's like close to you.
Yeah.
That makes, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Because the farther you take the line of talking to more people about it, everyone takes it differently. Like,
Right, yeah, everybody has a different perspective.
Or opinion.
Opinion too, yeah.
And they add on to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a rumor.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, agreed.
And you'll
Yeah.
be like, what?
Right. Who told you that?
All right.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Well, things to work on.
Our own epiphany. Oh my God.
Literally. I mean, I didn't do too much. I feel like when I was younger, I was way worse. I mean, not worse, but I don't know. I
I
was,
know what you mean.
you know,
I was like that.
I was just telling everybody my business.
Yeah, I thought it was a good thing. Like, hey, I did this, I did that, and then it ended up being like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
she's this type of person.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
shit.
Never again. You got to learn from your mistakes.
I know.
Right.
Damn. That's why it's good I'm not a celebrity. Oh my God. I can't even
You'll have
check
your
my
own talk
phone.
show?
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
well, we're here.
We are gossiping.
Oh my God, we are.
Full circle moment. Anyways, we're trying to learn lessons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it's
are.
trying to
Okay.
grow as individuals.
Exactly, and that's why this is our own therapy in a way.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I wanted to add
Yeah.
like how people should take accountability as well. But you know what? We're not getting into all that.
I think.
Or friends dating other friends.
Okay, in the same circle.
That could be part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that could
Okay.
be the boundaries.
Boundaries. Oh, like how much business do you tell? Like.
Oh, like when you mean when like two people in the friend group are dating and then like that,
And then they break up.
and like it's awkward.
Yeah.
That happened to you?
Should I bring that up? No.
That happened to you?
That's
No.
okay. We can bring it up.
No, I don't really. I don't know.
Gina, you're funny.
It's like,
We can talk about it.
You can.
I mean, I honestly don't feel any discomfort or anything. Like when it comes to like, I guess it depends. Like I do have that situation with somebody I dated in college
Oh.
where they're like not mutual. Well, they are kind of connected. So there was someone I dated in
Oh,
college.
shit.
I know there was someone I dated in college, and we had a bad falling out, and you guys aren't aware, but they know the same people in college, like they all studied film production. But that was awkward because it would be like I mean, it's kind of different. I don't know if you were gonna go anywhere with this, Gina, but like the difference in this situation is that I wasn't too close with anyone.
Mhm.
Like like the one person that I have one friend. Like in that situation, it's not like they're friends. They're not like this person, he isn't too close with this other guy, but like they are in the same field of work where it's like after college, it's like I remember getting invited to a networking party, and like I noticed that his name was on the list and he was gonna be I went there, he wasn't there, but then I was like, oh, I feel awkward because I'm like, I don't know what other people know. Like I don't know if his friends know what happened, or like they don't know what happened.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, I don't know because I'm like, he did me dirty, so I'm like, would he tell my business like that? I don't know. But in that weird way, it's like having to have it's so uncomfortable actually.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah. It
uncomfortable.
It really is.
Dating someone and they know the other people.
It's like a circle, like a group of friends.
It could also cause like a drift between like, you know, the
Whoever,
friends.
depending on
and
what
the
side
friend
they
group.
take.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna take a side.
In terms of like, I think I had a thing about attaching even to friendships, like where I would attach to friends where I feel like, I mean, I'm much better now, like just being by myself. But I think I would have this thing where it's like, I feel like if I wasn't in a relationship, I would have to hang out with like a best friend all the time. Like I had that with our one friend that we don't talk to anymore. I don't want to say her name.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But I would hang out with her all the time, and then like it transitioned, and I would like have this thing where it's like I couldn't.
Attachment.
You couldn't-
Yeah, like an
Yeah,
attachment
like you
thing.
couldn't be alone.
Yeah,
Thing.
Which is fine. It's
Yeah.
like the way
Because you were like a
coping.
lot younger. So.
exactly. And
Yeah.
it was like a little bit. I think we didn't talk as much before COVID, and then when COVID happened, then that friendship fizzled out, and then I think I reconnected with everyone. I think I don't remember, but the time
Something like that.
time
Yeah,
frame.
something like that.
So like
A lot happened.
yeah. So
Yeah.
like during COVID and things like that. So like I did a lot of therapy during COVID and you know, and even now sometimes I'm like lonely because now I'm single and not
Yeah.
whatever. But I would be like, okay, like if I don't have friends to hang out with, what do I do? And so like that's always still like something to always be in the moment.
I
and-
gotcha. It's hard to make friends when you're like a grown adult sometimes.
It is.
Yeah.
Because
People
not
look at you
everybody
creepy,
has
too.
everybody has their own little friend groups that they've known for a long time, and if
Yeah.
you do meet someone new, it's gonna be doing like some kind of activity. What I do, because I collect a lot of cute figures and stuff, they have like little meet and greets. They have little events that you can go to, because I collect sunny angels and little trinkets here and there.
Nice.
So I go to those events, and mostly women my age, like in the 30s,
Yeah.
mid 20s to 30s, because I think it's more of a millennial that they like the cute sunny angels.
Yeah.
But I think that stems from like childhood,
Yeah.
because when you were younger, maybe you didn't get all the things that you wanted. So now when you're a grown adult, it's like
You can
healing
buy
your inner
whatever,
child,
yeah,
type
yeah.
of thing. But that's what I do to connect with people.
Yeah.
We may not become like close friends, but you're part of a little group.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good way to like go out and
Yeah.
do something when you feel like alone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I agree. Like there's sometimes I think about like activities, and this may be helpful for other people feeling the same way, but like activities that I want to kind of revisit again, like something I did before was acting. Like I did acting classes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I actually saw. I was walking with Josh, and they had like a little acting session going on around Times Square.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, we should do that, because you could get drinks and you could do a little 90-minute acting sesh.
Oh.
That would be fun to do, right?
Really? Yeah.
Yes, that'd be fun. We should do that.
Is that new?
And we were walking by Times Square, and I was like, oh shit.
There's always something in Times Square, actually.
Yeah,
I'm not
because they have like
surprised.
a singing diner, and we were passing by it, and there's a diner where people sing
Yeah.
and they serve you food. And then close to it, I think maybe 2 blocks from it, they had like a little poster that said 90-minute acting, like
Oh.
what is it called, improv class.
Yeah.
And you could get drinks and stuff in that
sounds
improv
fun.
class.
Yeah.
And then I also discovered they had this murder mystery 3-course meal thing.
Oh.
So like you're in the table with your group, you get a drink, food, and then there's like a play going on about a murder mystery, and
Yeah.
you get to solve it with the table. Like you're in different groups. That looks like fun too.
It looks fun. I'll be
I
down
don't know.
to try
I
it
find
out.
a lot of activity.
Yeah. No, I'd be down.
Yeah.
It's like that, for example. I mean, I guess it depends where you live, because in New York there's a lot of
There's
things
a lot to do. Yes. There is.
So that's why I'm like, okay, I mean, there's no excuse. Like you can still find something to do. And like I do, like that's why I was a couple days ago, I was revisiting like art workshops
Those are fun.
and like painting and things. There's like things I like to do. And I even was like, maybe I should just start creating. Like, I think everyone who might deal with a breakup or like some kind of epiphany of like loss,
Mm-hmm.
then it's like something dies and then something reborn.
Like you rediscover yourself. all over
Rediscover.
again.
So
Mhm.
yeah, I feel like that's a whole situation where it's just like, you know, something didn't work out and then you rediscover yourself.
Mm.
So I'm like rediscovering like what
Yeah.
my interests again, and
Yeah. It's
You
always
find
good to
yourself.
keep yourself
Yeah.
busy and revamp yourself after
yeah, 'cause
going
relationships
through
do take a
something.
lot
They
of
do
time.
take a lot out of you once it's over. I feel like you have to.
I actually really like being single. I
That's good.
really, honestly, I'm not even saying this like to say this, but I really do like being single.
That's good. That's a healthy thing
Yeah.
to say, because you're
Because,
like
yeah.
what
You're
is
loving
it?
yourself and
Yeah,
you're okay
you're
being
confident.
alone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's good. That's better than depending on someone else for your
Yes,
happiness.
you don't want to depend on
Yeah,
anyone else
no.
because you're not gonna be happy alone. You
Exactly.
don't care. Like it's like you're not taking care of yourself. You're not
Right.
happy
Yeah.
by yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You need
And if you were in that like place where you weren't happy with yourself and you added someone else, you would just be a
miserable.
lot. Yeah, you'd be
And,
miserable.
and then you'll blame the other. Well, that's how. Yeah.
Very
yeah,
dependent
that'll
on
happen.
other-
Yeah, so
yeah.
become dependent on
On
that person.
anything
Yeah.
or anyone.
Yeah. I agree.
But that's healthy.
Yeah.
You chose the healthy route, so that's good.
Epiphany. Yeah. This was an epiphany episode.
Yes.
You like a lot of rediscovering.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah.
I liked it. That was
Yeah, because
enjoyable.
I feel like as you get older, sometimes you lose that creativity
Mm-hmm.
because you're so focused on adulting
Yeah.
that you lose your creative side.
Actually, you know what's so funny?
Mhm.
Maybe because the weather is getting warmer here, but yesterday I literally was like, because, you know, sometimes I listen to music and like lately I haven't been listening to music. I just want to like just sit and look.
Yes.
around. Like, I look at the sky. I'm
Like socialize.
Yeah, but not even
with
that.
the environment.
Yeah.
Not with people. Like just sitting there and taking it all in.
yeah, taking it all in. And I was like looking up at the sky. I was like, I actually feel so calm right now. I don't know what. I think the winter was a lot.
It was a long winter. It was very depressing.
Yeah.
It's been too
We're
cold
getting there.
that I forgot what the sun feels
I
like.
know, same. Because I was just like thinking to myself, I was like, wow, like I actually.
Global warming's very real.
Oh, that's another thing too. But I was just like I love looking at people's apartment windows.
I do the same thing too sometimes, but I don't like be deep in there. But some people have nice windows.
They do have nice windows. They have nice things in there, and that's one thing of my guilty pleasures. I mean, this is kind of diverting, but like I like to just like I'm not standing and looking, but I like to walk and then look into the apartments in the up, in the ceiling, if not the ceiling, but the third floor, fourth floor, and just look what they have in there.
I thought you were going to talk about the building and the
The
sky.
architecture. Yeah, I love good architecture, but in Astoria at least, I'm just like, I've seen this so many times, but looking into someone's apartment, I'm like, I never know what's in there. So anyways, but yeah, like no, but yesterday it was like very like I was present.
You felt very in the moment.
Yeah, and I was paying attention, and I was like actually listening to things, and I've been noticing, not that this is a good thing, but strangers coming up to me more often lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe because my energy is cleansed. I'm also wearing this bracelet to clear out negative energy.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's cute.
I got it in San Diego.
nice.
But anyways, but the other day a guy was, I used to work at Rite Aid,
Okay.
and there was this customer that was a little bit, I think he was on the spectrum or something, but he would always come up to me and be like, are you uncomfortable with me talking to you? And I'd be like,
Oh.
it would make me feel weird. And he's like, some people feel weird when I ask them questions. And I said, whatever. I was trying to go roll with it, right? But the other day I was walking in the neighborhood, and then I was literally waiting for the light to change, and that same man that I haven't seen in years came up to me. He's like, it's a beautiful day, isn't it? And I was like, oh. And I recognized. I was like, oh, damn. And I was like,
Oh damn.
and I was like, yeah, it is a beautiful day. And then that's when he mentioned it. It reminded me of what he used to say. He was like, sometimes people feel uncomfortable when strangers talk to them in the street.
New Yorkers. That's us.
Yeah. And then I was like, yeah. And then the light changed, and then I just walked really fast. I was like, have a nice day. And then like
we get weirded out by
Yeah.
just people coming up to us saying good morning.
Yeah,
I do, personally.
no.
And it's like you go to another country or another place
Yeah.
and it's normal.
right.
Oh.
But here,
Don't say good morning.
also the delivery was weird. But it depends on. You just never know. I don't know. People in New York you have to always be. I'm
We're
always on my
aware.
guard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
I wish it was different. I wish we could build a community, and we probably can. I mean,
Yeah. We're just not friendly enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just.
But sometimes
We always
it's
think
weird,
somebody's
yeah.
out to get us.
Yeah.
True. Which
yeah.
could be true because I was on the bus yesterday. The bus on
Yeah.
like 21st Street.
Oh, okay.
I sat down, but I think there was a guy who's like touching himself back there,
Oh,
and you could hear him moaning
see,
and
this is what I'm
stuff.
talking about.
Yeah, and I'm like, I just moved from my seat. I was like, ugh.
Oh God.
I don't want to.
So this-
I don't want him to like explode next to me like shit. Because I
There's-
think he was reaching that.
No,
point.
I remember that. Like there was one time I went to. This is back when I was going to college, Brooklyn College, and I would travel to and from Queens to Brooklyn. And there was this, when we were crossing the Brooklyn Bridge, there was this man that got on the train, and he would. This is still horrible.
Mm-hmm.
He sat next to me, and so close to me, he was touching my knee, like, you know what I mean, like.
Ew.
And then I was like,
Mm-mm.
I literally looked at him. I was like, "Don't touch me." And then like when I would move, he would follow me to like the next cart. And then I literally when it was like DeKalb Ave or whatever that on the end line, I remember literally when he was moving, and then like I literally I turned around in front of everyone. I was like, I made a scene. I was like, "Don't touch me, whatever." Blah, blah, blah. And like he was like, and then he left the train. And I was like, sometimes you really need to expose people.
Yeah,
Because they
you
think
gotta
you're
go
crazy.
Yeah.
You have to
As
act
you
crazy.
should be.
You have to act yeah. Because I was
Yeah.
like, just because I was like pretty young, like 22, 23, just because I looked like innocent, whatever. I was like, no, you can't get up.
Yeah,
I don't know,
it's
old
nice.
man.
Yeah, that happened to me at the movie theater
Oh, God.
with this old white man. He smelled really bad. I still remember his smell.
Ooh. Was it in Queens or Manhattan?
It was in the city.
Yeah.
His leg kept touching mine, and then I felt his hand touching my leg. And I was wearing a short skirt.
Oh my God.
Pervert.
Mm-hmm.
My hairdresser told me a story. My hairdresser told me a story too. She told me that when she was watching.
But I froze, I think, because I
No,
didn't know
that
when
happens.
it happens. Fight or flight. Yeah, I
I
just
think you
froze.
told me about that.
Yeah, I froze because I was like, oh, I feel uncomfortable. I can't do anything because my brain was like focused on the movie.
Horrible.
I'm like, luckily
So
my niece
uncomfortable.
didn't sit there, and it was me because I was with my nieces.
Ew.
So I was like, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm
I
glad.
would have punched them just
Yeah.
because of that.
That's why you can't
But
trust
I'm glad they
strangers.
didn't sit where I was sitting, and I'm glad it was me and not them.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you react after? Did he stop?
Yeah, I think I moved my leg towards this way, and then he stopped touching me.
Oh.
But his leg kept touching my leg. I was like, ugh, nasty.
So
I think he was
uncomfortable.
jerking off too. But
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
No, but it's funny that not funny, but like in the movie theaters, there's some creepsters. I mean, my hairdresser, she told me once that like when the first Joker came out, I think, or the Batman, the new Batman movie with what's that guy's name? The Twilight guy,
Matt, what's his name? Was it Matt? What's his name? Matt?
the British guy, whatever.
Yeah.
The Bat.
Edward? No.
Edward.
That's just from the movie. I forgot his real name.
But the real man, the guy
Robert
that makes
Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
I think it was that film. She said that she was in the movie theater and the guy was jerking off next to her, and she did make a scene, and she was like, "What the fuck?" Blah blah blah. AMC in Times Square.
You get some creepy people there. I think one time I saw a couple. They were all the way in the back, but nobody said
They were having
anything.
sex?
At least they were a couple. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, they were having sex, and I think one of them brought out a handcuff, and they were like going in.
I'm so.
You know what?
I mean, talk about public
Just-
sex.
I guess, yeah.
That's fair because at least they were a couple. I don't care
yeah,
about that.
but
I mind my
creeps,
business. But
Like, don't be
True.
touching other people.
Yeah.
True. I mean, there could have been kids in that movie theater.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not appropriate.
I think
Let's
it
just
was
say
like
that.
a rated
It's not
R movie, so there were no kids. It was kind of empty.
Hey, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think if you get caught, you could be put on that list, like sex offender
Oh,
list.
You gotta
yeah.
find.
Mhm.
Oh, sex offender.
I think you do get on
Yeah,
the
you
list.
do get on
I
the
or
didn't
like,
list
know
for doing
that.
stuff. Yep. If they
Oh.
catch you like doing stuff outside, you can get
Yeah.
on the list. Yeah.
You know what? They
It's
know
not
what
worth
they were
it.
getting themselves into.
Yeah.
It's not
You know, I
worth
saw
it.
a couple having sex in the park.
It happens.
So no, like in front of us, like under a tree, and they
not
were
even
having
trying
sex.
to hide.
No, I think they were dry humping or they're having sex, but they were doing something.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I don't know. New York is a very interesting
New York
place.
is very interesting. It's
You
like
just gotta mind your business sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless it personally affects you.
that's why like even when people ask me for like
Directions.
there was this one woman in Astoria. I felt recently that she was like just sitting down and she was asking for directions. No, I'm sorry, she didn't ask directions. She was asking me. She was like, excuse me," and I ignored her because I was like, I don't know.
You gotta be careful because
They
sometimes
do drug you.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, that's been happening.
Touch anything, and it
Yeah,
just.
yeah,
I heard
yeah.
about that.
You gotta be careful with people, even like women, not just men.
Unbelievable. Yeah, and I saw something on Instagram, I think, about sex trafficking.
That's a
Oh,
big thing
it's a
going
big
on.
thing.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah, like woman would be even in the most innocent person, you have to be careful because if it's a woman, it's
Or a
like
kid.
middle age.
Or even a kid, yes.
They
could
use kids.
Yeah. I saw that too.
It's a scary world.
So even if you want to believe it's really hard. It's really hard
It's
to.
hard to tell.
It's really hard because if a kid is like saying they're in danger and they're like, help me, like your first instinct, it's like, oh my God, I want to help them. But
Yeah.
you're
I
going
would
to seem
just-
like an
yeah.
asshole if you walk away and
You're
ignore
like,
them.
what's going on? I'm just gonna call 911.
It's important, at least with the boundary conversation,
Yeah.
is about respect.
Respect each other's boundaries
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
for sure.
And
Listen to your partner.
listen-
Not only communicate, you also have to understand.
Yep.
Because without understanding, there's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
and
relationship.
try to be in their shoes. Like try
Yes.
Yes, that's
Put
important.
yourself in their shoes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
to and defend. I mean, I guess defend your partner in a situation where it's like if you're actually gonna not defend, but I'm saying
Have their back.
have their back. If you're gonna tell someone's business, tell both sides.
Yes.
as
of
well.
course.
And be aware of like how much you tell them and like what the repercussions are and like how the friends are gonna view. I mean, there's a fine line, I feel like, with those kind of things, depending what the issue could have been.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, if you want to keep things a secret, like cheating, right?
Yeah.
Because once you tell your friends about
That's
the cheat,
it.
that's
They'll
it.
Yeah.
never look at that person the same
again.
again.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And then other things. I I mean, I think when it comes to physical abuse, I think you should definitely
No, that's
speak
different.
up.
Of course, speak up, because
Yeah.
that's something that's serious. It's
Yeah.
it's gonna keep happening if you just ignore it.
If you get worse, and
Yeah.
it can get really dangerous.
Yeah.
And I think there are like websites and like source lines for that. Yeah. Support system. It's a fine line of having good support
Yeah. And venting.
and
for sure.
venting. But if your life is on the line, I think that's definitely
Definitely
bigger.
say something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't just stay quiet
Quiet.
just because, you're scared to say anything about what's going on or speak bad about that person. That's definitely a serious,
Yeah.
It's very serious.
That's very different. Yeah. All right. Well, this has been fun. I think I don't know what the next topic will be, but of course, if anyone's watching on YouTube, Spotify, even on TikTok, we're on TikTok. Feel free to comment and let us know if you have topics or things that you or questions. Yeah, questions. We don't have like a live Q&A yet, but you never know. And just keep that in mind. But you can find us on YouTube and all the podcast platforms out there. So I guess that concludes this episode. Thank you for watching, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.